What's up, YouTube? JM Comics here, and I saw the 2022 movie Elvis yesterday at the movie theaters, and honestly, this is probably my favorite movie of the year so far. And I'll try to delve into each reason why I love it and all that, and the few problems it has. But first, remember to like, subscribe, and comment down below for more movie content this year. And without further ado, let's get into different categories of this movie. I'm gonna start off with the cast, and my gosh, the cast does an amazing job in this movie. Austin Butler, I'm pretty sure that's his name, right? Yeah, Austin Butler. He does an amazing job playing Elvis in this movie, portraying him. He just has all the mannerisms of him. He has the look, he has everything. His voice, I'm not sure if it was him singing the entire time. I know for a lot of the songs they blended Elvis' original voice recording along with Austin Butler's voice. But he does a really good job with the voice and the singing, the vocals. So it's amazing. Tom Hanks does a great job as Tom Parker, Colonel Parker, basically the villain of the movie. It's similar to how the Penguin was done in the Batman, where they put like a fat suit on and like prosthetics. And for a while I couldn't tell it was Tom Hanks. Like I knew it was Tom Hanks going into the movie because I knew he was on the movie. He was in the movie. But like watching it, I started to get lost from the fact that it was Tom Hanks. I couldn't even tell it was Tom Hanks for a lot of it. So that was great. And Olivia DeJonge as Priscilla Presley, his wife, she also did a pretty good job. And all the actors in this movie did a great job portraying their characters, like his mom, his dad, all those other characters. It was amazing. And yeah, I really felt like I was there watching the events happen. No performance really stuck out to me as bad or like jarring and took me out of the experience, which was great, especially for something that's based on real events like this. The plot of this movie, like I'm not the biggest fan of Elvis Presley. Like I like his music, but I'm not like an avid music listener, especially not to his songs. But I really do think that they did a really good job portraying what really happened to Elvis Presley. Because I did some research outside by myself. And I know for sure that the part where he exposes the Colonel publicly in the movie was not real. That was dramatized. But a lot of the other aspects of this movie were realistic. And in an interview with, I'm pretty sure the creators of the movie, Priscilla Presley even said that this movie was the most accurate portrayal of Elvis' life on film. So they did a really good job staying true to the real life inspiration for what happened in the movie. Because like it's barely dramatized, besides what I just mentioned at the end. So Elvis never really finds out that he's being manipulated by the Colonel. And I hate to say this, but like I actually showed emotions and started crying while watching this movie. I didn't cry a lot, I didn't like bawl, but a few tears fell from my eyes and my nose was running because it was really emotional. And this is not a spoiler. If you know Elvis Presley, you know he dies eventually. He does die in this movie at the end, obviously. And I was crying at that point. So it's a great movie, emotionally speaking. It really got me going. The one problem with this movie I could think of off the top of my head is probably the beginning of the movie. It's kind of all over the place. Like we cut between Elvis as a kid, Elvis as an adult, Elvis as a starting performer. It's really scattershot. And it is narrated by Tom Hanks' character, Colonel Parker. And I like that choice, but I do feel at the beginning of the movie it was kind of random the way he was narrating and what events were showing at what times. But as it started to continue on, it became more chronological and started to make a lot more sense, and it became better as time continued on. Because yeah, I do criticize a lot of movies, like Moon Knight. I didn't make a review for Moon Knight, but I did criticize that for like being all over the place with its storytelling. But in this movie's case, I really feel like it worked in its favor, and it never got me lost. It just kind of bothered me at the beginning. And yeah, the music in this movie is obviously amazing. A lot of Elvis Presley songs, as well as the inspiration for lots of them. Like a lot of their origins in rock and roll and the blues, black blues, all of that. As someone who doesn't know that much about Elvis Presley and never really knew much about Elvis Presley until watching this movie, it really caught me off guard how sad his life was. I mean, I knew he got drugged supposedly and died because of that, or had like cardiac arrest. But the way that this movie plays out all the events and dramatizes them really works to like make you sympathize with Elvis Presley. A person that I've always like known of, he's like a legend. Everyone always hears about him. But I never really understood the story behind or the details of his life and how he became the legend he is. Also, at the end of the movie, it does say that he's the best-selling solo artist of all time. I did not know that. I thought it'd be someone like Madonna, or for some reason Britney Spears. I just felt like it might be her. But no, it was Elvis Presley. And with that being said, there's not really much to talk about in this movie besides those things. It's a biography, so it's based on real stuff. And there's just nothing else to talk about, but it's just amazing. Just go watch this movie. Actually, I will mention though, the visuals in the movie are pretty good, especially like the casino visuals and the glowing lights. Like the animation style that the director uses, Baz Luhrmann, his style is really good for this movie. And that's probably about it for my review of Elvis 2022. I'd go watch it if I were you. Definitely, like yeah, I'd definitely go to the theaters and watch this right now if I were you. And in terms of score, in terms of entertainment, I'd give this an A+. I was hooked the entire time, like willing to know what happens to Elvis Presley and how his life played out. But that's just me because I don't know what happens. So if you know the story, I don't know if it's as interesting. And in terms of a score out of 10, I'm gonna give this a full 10 out of 10. Go watch this right now as soon as possible. I'd really recommend the theater experience because people were like crying and screaming and going, "I love you, Elvis," the entire time. So it's really magical to see people gathering around this legendary figure. And with that being said, JM Comics out.